Hello, good morning everyone and welcome to today's class. We will be doing mathematics part 2, question number 3a. That is activity, that is filling boxes. You will be given 6 boxes and you need to fill those 6 for 3 marks. Okay, so half mark for each box. This is the type of question that we will be doing today. And which are the topics or the chapters? It's quadrilaterals, circle, coordinate geometry, trigonometry, surface area, and volume. All right. So yes, there will be a quiz, but at the end, before that, we will look at a few questions based on 3A. Question 3A. So let's start with the first question. That's the first question. And let's see how to get the answers with the reasons or the steps which are given in the question itself. Yes. So in this question, it says quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram and the line segments AX, CY are drawn such that DX is equals to BY. So DX is equals to BY. And we are asked to complete the activity to prove that AX is parallel to CY. Okay, this is something we have to prove. Okay, so let's get started with the first one. AB equals to what? Opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. Okay, so if you look at AB, if I highlight AB, we are given that ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, so ABCD is a parallelogram. So AB will be equal to which side? Just look at the reason. They have given the reason. Opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. So what is the opposite side to AB? Students, just check. This is such an easy question. Okay, such an easy. First step is so easy. You can just look at the diagram. Okay, ABCD is the parallelogram. AB is, will be equal to which side? Opposite of this AB is DC. So here DC goes. Correct? Yes. And then next we are given, this is equation 1, this is equation 2, and then we are asked subtracting 2 from 1. So just look at this left hand side, LHS, it says AB minus DX. So AB is written first and then minus DX. Likewise, what goes in the RHS? So clearly that will be DC minus BY. So here the next one is also DC. Okay. Now we look at the diagram. AB minus dx. What is AB minus dx? So AB is actually DC itself. So AB minus dx, AB is actually DC and DC minus dx equals to CX, this part, correct? So what will be DC minus BY? Now DC minus BY, DC is the complete side. Likewise here also DC is actually AB, correct? So what is AB minus BY? From AB, if we remove this BY, what are we left with? That will be AY, correct? So AY goes in the next box like that. Okay. So we have shown that CX is equals to AY, and we know that the sides of opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel. Therefore, CD is parallel to AB, CX is parallel to AY. Now, remember this one important property of quadrilateral, that if the opposite sides are parallel and equal, okay, here the word is missing. Suppose, yeah, of course, we need to write equal over here. So what have we got? We have got that these sides, these two sides, they are equal. Just check, these two sides, they are equal and they are parallel. So this is a property. What is that property? When the two sides or two opposite side, when the opposite sides of any quadrilateral, they are parallel and they are equal. So parallel and equal, then that becomes a parallelogram. Okay. So remember this property. That's how you get answer to this box. It says pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, therefore it's a parallelogram. And what can we say here? quadrilateral ACXY. So just check ACXY is this one. Automatically that becomes a parallelogram. Why? Because opposite sides are equal and parallel. Therefore, this is a parallelogram, right? And then here, what will be the reason that goes in this box? Opposite sides of parallelogram are parallel, right? Because here the parallel sign is used, so we have to write parallel over here. So the property that we have used in this question is that if for any quadrilateral the opposite sides are parallel and equal, then that will be a parallelogram. Okay, this is the first question. Let us move to second one. A very nice and very important question from 10th standard point of view. So please be very attentive on this one. This is, we are given an equation 3x plus 2y plus 6 equals to 0, and we have to complete the table. Okay, so I will just write out the equation 3x minus 2y plus 6 equals to 0. In the first one, we are given the value of 1. So we are given x equals to 1. So put x equals to 1 in this equation and solve to get y. Okay, isn't that easy? Once again, look at the table. Here, looking at the table, we see that x equals to 1. The value of x is given to be 1. Okay, so we put x equals to 1 and we have to solve for y. So 3x minus 2y plus 6 equals to 0. We are going to put x equals to 1. What is 3 times 1? That is 3 minus 2y plus 6 equals to 0. What should be the next step, students? Yes, we combine the like terms. So what is 3 plus 6? That's 9. 9 minus 2y equals to 0. Correct? What will be the next step? We shift this 9 to the other side. Why? Because we want to bring y by itself. We are finding y. Correct? So that will be minus 2y equals to minus 9. Plus 9 shifts to that side, that will become minus 9. Now we have to get rid of this negative 2. So how do we get rid of this negative 2? It is in multiplication here. That side it will become division. So that will be y equals to minus 9 upon minus 2. Negative negative gets crossed out. We are left with 9 upon 2. What is 9 upon 2 equal to? That will be 4.5. So we have got y equals to 4.5. And here in this box, you should mention that's 4.5. Now this question is just to solve. We have to just fill the boxes and not to graph anything. Okay. So we are just, yeah, so we are just going to substitute and solve for the values, and that's it. We are not going to graph anything. All right. Look at the next box. In the next box, we are asked to write the point in x comma y format. Okay. So x comma y format. So first you write the x value, that is 1, and then write the y value, that's 4.5. That completes the second box. All right. Now look at the third one, the third box. Yes, over here. So here we don't know what is the value of x, right? So here we are given the value of y actually. So what is y here? Y is equal to 3. Are you able to see? Y is 3. Okay. So here I'm going to draw a line, and then we are given that y equals to 3. So what should we do? Put y equals to 3, isn't it? So put y equals to 3 and solve for x. All right. So we have the equation 3x minus 2y plus 6 equals to 0. We are going to substitute and solve. So put x equals to 3 instead of, sorry, put y equals to 3. So instead of y, we are writing 3 here. And now we simplify this. So 3x, we multiply. So that's 2 times 3, which is equals to 6, plus 6 equals to 0. Now check, we combine the like terms. Minus 6 plus 6 equals to how much? Yeah, that will be equal to 0, isn't it? Minus 6 plus 6 gets crossed out. So we are left with 3x equals to 0, right? and we have to bring x by itself. So get rid of the 3. 3 moves to that side, it will become division. It's in multiplication here. There is no sign, that means it is multiplication. So x equals to 0 divided by 3. And what is x? 0 divided by 3 is 0. So that gives us the value of x. X is 0. So in the box, we will put x equals to 0. Correct? And what goes in this box? Yes, what goes in this box? We want the answer in the form x comma y with the brackets, all right, and the comma. So first we write 0, that is x, comma y, which is 3. Okay, that completes that box. Next we move to the next box. So once again, check students, here x is not given. Okay, so we have to find x, but y is given. Just check, y equals to 6. Yes, so we put y equals to 6, and we have to solve for x. Isn't it easy? We have to just substitute the value. I am writing out the equation again. 3x minus 2y plus 6 equals to 0. So just replace y with 6. So here I have put 6. What will be the next step? Calculate, simplify, isn't it? So 3x as it is minus 2 times 6 is 12 plus 6 as it is equals to 0. All right. And then we combine the like terms. So that will be 3x minus 12 plus 6 will be minus 6, which is equals to 0. Correct? And we have to bring x by itself. So get rid of this minus 6. So that will be 3x minus 6 moves to that side. It will become plus 6, correct? And then we have to get rid of this 3. 3 is in multiplication. It moves to that side. It will be division. So x equals to 6 divided by 3. We get x equals to 2. Isn't that easy? And remember, this is there same to same. This type of simple questions are there in 10th also. That is the basics for 1 mark and 2 marks. So do practice. Make sure that you are doing at least 5 to 6 such type of questions, so that you are very thorough with this type of questions. Okay, it can be, this type of questions can be asked for 1 mark, for 2 mark, 3 mark as well. Okay, and further it can go for 4 marks also, where you will be asked to graph. All right, so do practice. And here we have got x equals to 2, so we put 2 here in this first box, and in the last one we have to write it in the coordinate format. So x comma y, x is 2 and y is 6. That completes this question. Okay, so once again, to sum up what we did here, in the table we are given the values of x, or we are given the values of y. We have to put the respective values and solve for the other variable. Okay, once we get the value, we just substitute that value or put that value here in the box. And final thing, that is the x comma y format, it should be written with brackets and separated by comma. The number should be separated by comma. Okay, a easy question. Let us move to question 3 now. Yes, so again, this is a question from coordinate geometry. We are asked to plot the points. So there are 3 points A, B and C on a graph paper. If these points are collinear, then draw the line which indicates them. Now look at the question carefully. First thing we have to do here is to plot. Okay, so first thing you have to plot. Second thing, if they are collinear means if the points are in a straight line, if the points they form a straight line, it is called as collinear. So if the points are forming a straight line, only then we have to draw that line. Okay, and finally the third part is write the coordinates of the points at which the line intersects the x-axis and the y-axis. So we have to find the points or the coordinates where the line intersects the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so do you see there are 3 parts to this question, and each part is for 1 mark. So let's start with the first part, that is to plot. So let us plot these points. I have the graph paper ready over here. Okay, so the first point is A, 2 comma 3. So x is 2, y is 3. We start at x axis at 2. Okay, and then 3, y equals to 3, so move 3 steps up, 1 2 3 over here. So this point is 2 comma 3. I don't know why it won't take up the diagram. What is the problem? Just a minute. 2 comma 3. Yeah, it won't let me do. Just a minute, let me check if I can do something. Okay, now let me try. So 2 comma 3 over here, this is the point. Okay, I'm able to do it right now. So 2 comma 3, that's the first point. Let me just erase out this part. Okay, and then the next is B, which is 6 comma negative 1. So start at y equals to 6 here. 6 will be somewhere over here. 6 comma negative 1, so negative 1 will be here. This is the second point, and the third point is 0 comma 5. So x is 0 and y is 5. This is the point over here. Okay, I will just you know how you need to do it in exam. You need to plot the point and you need to mention which point is that. So this one is C, which is 0 comma 5. This point is point A, which is 2 comma 3, and this point is point B, which is 6 comma negative 1. Now clearly, just by looking at the figure, you can see that these 3 points, they are lying on one straight line. Just check. So what should be the next step? We have to draw the line because these points are collinear, right? So here we are just extending the line, and you need to show arrowheads on both the ends, okay? Because that's a line. And what is the definition of line? Which extends in a line segment which extends in both the sides. So remember, very important, you need to draw those arrowheads, okay? So we write here, yes, the points are collinear. So the points, they are collinear. All right, and then further they are asking us write the coordinates of the points at which the line intersects the x-axis and the y-axis. So this is the line and it intersects the x-axis. Where is the x-axis? This is the x-axis. Where does it intersect? So point of intersection, if you draw it nicely, you should be able to see the point of intersection is this point, that is 5 comma 0. So we write it like this: point of intersection with the x-axis. What is the point of intersection with x-axis? That is 5 comma 0. And what about the point of intersection of intersection with y-axis? So point of intersection with y-axis is, yes students, over here you can check, this is 0 comma 5. So 0 comma 5, that completes the solution. All right, so 3 parts. First you need to plot. If the lines are collinear, we have to draw the line, and finally we had to mention the point of intersection, that is this point and this point of intersection of that line with the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, that completes a solution to this question. So remember to break the question, highlight the things, what you are asked to do, break it into parts, and then answer it accordingly. Let us move to next question, question number 4. Now, this one is again an important and very easy question. Observe the given graph and complete the following activity. Okay, so we are given line L is parallel to x-axis. Just look at line L. Where is line L? Let me highlight it in different color. So line L, here, this is line L. All right, and we are asked what is the equation of this line which is parallel to x-axis. Now remember something to remember, okay, something to remember, very important. We have already worked on this, but still I will mention it again. Remember, any line which is parallel to x-axis, so line which is parallel to x-axis, it is of the form y equals to a. Okay, so y equals to a, where a is what? Where a is the point of intersection of that line with x-axis. Okay, and secondly, the line which is parallel to y-axis. What about the line which is parallel to y-axis? that will be of the form x equals to a, where a is what? Where a is the point of intersection of that line with x-axis. Okay, this is easy. So if the line is parallel to x-axis, it will be with y equals to a will be the equation. If the line is parallel to y-axis, the equation will be x equals to a format. This is something very important. Okay, so remember this. And yes, how do we get equation to the first one? So this line is parallel to x-axis, correct? The yellow line is parallel to y-axis. So the equation will be y equals to something. So where does it intersect? Just check. This is y equals to what? This is y equals to 5. It is intersecting the y-axis at 5. So what is the answer? It's simply y equals to 5. Isn't that easy? Okay, just look at the point of intersection of that line with the axis. Now look at the next one. Line M is parallel to y-axis. So which is line M? Let me highlight it. Just check. This is line M. Okay, so line M, it is parallel to y-axis. And what is its equation? So how do you find equation? Just look at the point of intersection. This is the point of intersection with x-axis, right? And what is this point? This point is x equals to 3. So that is the equation. All right. So equation is x equals to 3. That's the answer. Easy. You have to just look at the point of intersection of that line with the particular axis, x or y, whichever. And that will be the equation. Okay. Next question. Lines L and M intersect at point P. So just check everyone. They are intersecting at point P over here. This is point P. The question is, what are the coordinates of this point? So what are the coordinates of this point? They are of the form x comma y, correct? So what is the x coordinate? That's, if you just check, that's 3. And what is the y coordinate? That's over here. That's 5. So 3 comma 5 is the point of intersection. So here put it in bracket and of course the comma in between. So 3 comma 5 is the point of intersection. I hope this is very clear. Very easy question. See how easily you get 3 marks. Okay, you need to be just very clear with the concepts that whenever a line is parallel to x-axis, the equation will be y equals to a. Whenever the line is parallel to y-axis, the equation will be x equals to a. Okay, with that easy question, let us move to next one from the chapter trigonometry. All right. Now, for those who find this chapter difficult, as I have told in the previous classes also, you just need to remember this table, okay? And if you know this table, the second thing is that you need to know the rule that was SOHCAHTOA, right? If you know only these two things also, you can score marks easily in this chapter. Now let us look at how to fill the boxes. All right, we start with the first one and just check. This is a simple question where you have to complete the activity to find the values. Now to find these values, we need to know the table. All right, and to fill this first box, it is just a simple common sense. Okay, so look at the reason they have mentioned here, that is cos theta is equals to sine of 90 minus theta. So just compare, just check, whatever theta is written over here, same angle is to be written over here. So if it's a x over here, here we will write x. If it's a y over here, we'll write y. If it's a, if it's a maybe a bigger number, any number you take, if it's 10 over here, we will write 10 over here. Look at the question. It is 56 over here. Cos of 56 is changed to sine of 90 minus what? So if here it is 56, of course, here it will be 56, right? So 56 goes in the first box. Wasn't that easy? You just need to look at the rule, what they have mentioned. Okay. And the next step, again, there's a box next to sine. So what is 90 minus 56? A super easy question. What is 90 minus 56? Anybody can tell, isn't it? So what is that? That's equal to 34. All right. So that completes the second box. And now the next one. So just check, sine of 34 divided by sine of 34. We know when we divide two same things, right? When the numerator and the denominator are same, they simply cross out, isn't it? And they cross out and equal to what? Equal to 1. When the numerator and denominator are same, they cross out and equal to 1. So 1 goes in the next box. The answer over here is 1. Okay. And then next one, sine square 30. Sine square 30, see the square is placed over here out of the box and we have to write what is sine of 30. So students, what is sine of 30? Just check, that's half. So we write over here, that's half. Okay. And now they have solved everything. We just need to solve the second part. How do you solve this second part? 1 is written as it is, correct? That means we have to solve this part. Okay, that is adding two fractions. Now we know when we have to add two fractions, the denominators, they have to be same, right? So already the denominators are same. We write it once and then we combine the numerators. So this will be 1 plus 3, correct? What is 1 plus 3? That will be 4 upon 4. And what is 4 upon 4? We know that will be equal to 1, correct? Numerator and denominator same. They cross out and equal to 1. And then the next part, everybody should know the answer. What will be that? 1 plus 1 equals to 2. So that completes this question. Wasn't that easy? So simply you need to look at the rule and you need to fill those values. Simple subtraction was there. Then you had to just fill the values looking at the table, correct? And simple addition of two fractions gives us this part, and then the final was just adding 1 and 1. Okay, so do try to practice more questions which is of this type. Find the value of. All right, we move to next one now. Question number 6. Again, a very easy question from the same chapter, trigonometry. All right, and what do you need to know for this? We are asked to write the ratios. So whenever you are asked to find the ratios, remember the word SOHCAHTOA, right? SOHCAHTOA. All right, and let's begin with this. So we are asked to find tan of 50. Just look at it. Where is 50 in the first angle? In the first triangle. So let me highlight that triangle. That's triangle, yeah, that's triangle LMT. So LMT, in the triangle LMT we can find tan of 50, we can find sine of 50, cos of 60. We cannot see any angle 60 over here, so let's wait. Cos of 30 is there in the other triangle, so let's not do that first. Cos of 50, so cos of 50 is also there in the first triangle. All right, so let's begin with finding these angles, that is these ratios, that is tan of 50, sine of 50 and cos of 50. Okay, so how do you start? Always start with writing out the name of that triangle. What is the name of this triangle? Triangle LMT. Okay, we have to find first tan of 50. Yes. Now tan. What do you mean by tan over here? It would be TOA. So OA means that is opposite upon adjacent. So opposite side upon adjacent side. Okay. What is the opposite side? So 250. What do you see in opposite to 50? So opposite to 50, that's LT. And what is adjacent side? This is the adjacent side. So the answer is LT upon MT. Okay, so the answer to this is opposite side is LT upon adjacent side is MT. That completes tan of 50. Isn't that easy? Let us look at the next one. Sine of 50. You just need to write the ratios. That's all. Sine of 50 degree. What is that? Sine. So that is opposite upon hypotenuse. So let me write it out. Opposite side divided by hypotenuse. Okay, so what is opposite to 50 degree? Just check what is opposite to 50 degree. LT. And what is the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is the side opposite to 90 degrees. So 90 degrees opposite, that is LM. So the answer here is opposite side, which is, yeah, the opposite side, which is LT. So LT upon the hypotenuse, that is LM. That completes this part. Okay, And then the next one, we have to find cos of 50. So let me write it out. What is cos of 50 degrees? Cos means ka, that is adjacent side upon hypotenuse, correct? Ka, adjacent upon hypotenuse. So what is the adjacent side to 50 degree? What is the adjacent side? That's MT, right? So MT upon hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is LM. Okay, so we have found the first those three ratios. Now let us look at how to find the remaining ratios. So for that we use the other triangle. This triangle is LTN or LNT. Okay, let me just rename it T. So we start with in triangle LNT. Okay, so we see that one angle is 30 degrees, other angle is 90 degrees. So what will be the remaining angle? The remaining angle will be, uh, what will be that? Okay, so let us write it out. So angle L plus angle T plus angle N, which is equals to 180 degree. What is this rule? This rule is angle sum property, or this is the theorem, that is angle sum theorem of a triangle, or angle sum property of a triangle. That means sum of all angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So just substitute and solve. 30 plus 90 plus something, that is angle N, which is equals to 180 degrees. So angle N equals to 180 minus, this is adding, it becomes 120. Moving to that side, that will become minus 120. So angle N equals to how much? That's 60 degrees. Okay. So this angle is 60 degrees. That's how they are asking for cos of 60, sine of 60. All right. So let's find the next angle now. The next ratio, sorry, the next ratio. We have to find cos of 60. So cos of 60, that will be ka, right? So adjacent side upon hypotenuse. What is that? Adjacent side of 60 is the neighboring side, that is NT upon the hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse? The opposite to 90 degree. So hypotenuse is LN. Okay. Next question is cos of 30 degrees. Okay. So again, cos, the same formula, that is adjacent side upon hypotenuse. But this time, students, it is 30. So we have to concentrate on 30. Just check, the angle is 30. What is adjacent? Adjacent is this one, so that will be LT, and the hypotenuse upon the hypotenuse is LN. Okay, so just see how easy that is. You just need to understand what is the meaning of adjacent side, what is the meaning of opposite side, and hypotenuse is always opposite to 90 degree. Okay, so what is the adjacent side to 30? That's LT upon the hypotenuse, that's LN. Okay, and then the last part, that is sine of 60. What is sine of 60 degrees? The formula of sine is so that is opposite side upon hypotenuse. Okay, what is the opposite side of 60? So opposite to 60, that's LT upon hypotenuse is LN. So irrespective of the angles, you should understand how to switch angles, and how the if the angle changes, the adjacent side and the opposite side will change, the hypotenuse stays same. Okay, so for this question, which was of 3 marks, you had to know only two things. First was these three formulas, that's so ka to a, and then the second thing, that's angle sum property, sum of all angles is 180 degree. So if you're asked of some angle which is not seen there in the diagram, you should know that taking the sum of that triangle, taking the sum of the angles of that triangle, you can find the unknown angle. Okay, fine. And you can also remember this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So there are two types of 90-degree triangles. One can be 30, 60 degree, or it can be 45, 45, 90 degree, right? And suppose you were asked to find this angle. What would be this angle? This angle would be 40 degrees, isn't it? Because sum of all angles is 180 degrees. So suppose in case you are asked to find what is tan of 40 degrees. So of course it cannot be 40 in this triangle. Why? Because that's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. If one angle is, if two angles are 30 and 90, that means automatically the third has to be 60. So if you were asked what is tan of 40, you should start with this green triangle. Okay, because just check, 50, 40, 90 will make it a 180 degree, correct? So that was some extra knowledge on this question. Let us move to next question, question number 7. Okay. Now this question is from surface area and volume, a very nice and easy chapter which is there in class 10th also. Okay, and what you need to remember is this formula. Okay, the table. Fine. So let us begin. Complete the following activity to find the curved surface area and total surface area. So we are asked to find curved surface area and total surface area of hemisphere. So just look at the formula. This is the hemisphere. We need the total surface area and the curved surface area. All right. So first thing, they are given that the diameter is 14 centimeters. So what is diameter? We are just writing out the same value, that's 14 centimeter. What will be the radius, students? We know that radius is half of diameter. So half of 14, that will be how much? Half of 14 is 7. So radius is 7 centimeter. And next they are asking us what is the formula for curved surface area. Okay, so what is the formula for curved surface area? See, half marks you get it just by the formula. Here also they are asking for the formula. So again, one half mark. So please make sure, in any case, you should remember all these formulas. In one of the previous videos which we did in one of the state level class, I had explained how to remember these formulas, how to derive these formulas. Okay, so you can also refer that. And here, what will be the formula? So curved surface area of hemisphere, what's that? That's 2 pi r squared. So here we write 2 pi r squared. And then this part, they have done the substitution already. We just have to solve it. Okay. So 7 and 7 gets crossed out. We are left with 2 times 22. That's 44 times 7. So what will that equal to? That should equal to 308 centimeters square. All right, so 308 goes in the next box, and then we are asked to find the total surface area. What is the total surface area of this hemisphere? So what is that? A total surface area's formula, that's 3 pi r square. So 3 pi r squared goes here, and then simplifying again, that will be 3 times 22 is 66 times 7, that is equals to how much? That's equals to 462. That completes this question. Okay, a very simple question. You just had to write what is the diameter. You just had to copy the value here. Then you should remember this formula, that radius is half of diameter. Then these two formulas from the table itself, and simple calculation, students, simple calculation. Is this multiplication very difficult? No, isn't it? So simple calculations can get you 3 marks, just the formula and simple calculations. So please make sure you're practicing or you're working on this table. Okay, we move to next question now. This question is from the chapter circle. We are given follow the given instructions. Okay, so this is question number. And what are we asked to do here? This part says I am a triangle element and my components are, you need to construct my circumcircle. Okay, so this question is on construction of circumcircle. And how do we do that? We start always with a rough diagram, correct? So let's draw the rough diagram first. So for rough diagram, how do you begin? We say we are asked to draw the triangle. So triangle is LMN. Now just check why I am drawing this obtuse angle triangle, because they have given the angle M to be 105. Okay, so LMN, angle M is 105 degrees, and then MN is 6.4 centimeters, and LM is 7.2 centimeters. Okay, that completes the rough diagram. And now we have to draw the construction or do the construction. So just a minute. Yes, we have the construction tool ready with us here. So that's the rough diagram. And how do you draw the circumcircle? Yes, we start with drawing this triangle, isn't it? So let's start with drawing this triangle. Okay, so leave some room on left hand side, some room on right hand side, and yes, we can begin. We start with drawing MN, that is 6.4. So here I'm going to draw 6.4. Here this is 6.4. Okay, and we label it then and there itself. So this is MN. Okay, this is MN, and this length is 6.4 centimeters. Okay, next we have to draw an angle at M, that is 105 degrees. So here you start from 0, you start at this end, and then you begin 105. Okay, so 105 is over here. All right, so we remove this, and now we have to join M to that point and extend it, isn't it? So this gives us the angle, which is 105 degrees. Next, we have to get this point L, which is at a distance of 7.2 centimeters from M. So on the compass, we will take a distance of 7.2 centimeters. So here I have placed the steel point on 0, and we take the distance of 7.2 in the compass. Okay, and lock this, and now place the steel point on M, and we are going to draw an arc, right, to get the point L. So draw the arc on that line, which is of 105 degrees, and here drawing the arc will give us the point L. So here we have got this point, which is L, and this distance is 7.2 centimeters, correct? And now what will be the next step? We join this line to complete the triangle. So the first part is super easy. You just have to draw the diagram, and from the rough diagram you just need to draw that triangle. The first part is very easy. Now we do working on the second part, that is to find the circumcircle. All right, so step 1, if I write out the steps as I always do, step 1, we have to draw the given triangle. Step 2 is we need to draw perpendicular bisectors. The symbol is perpendicular and bisectors. So we have to draw perpendicular bisectors on any two sides. So perpendicular bisectors on any two sides. Okay. What do you mean by perpendicular bisector? A line which will divide the line segment into two equal parts and will get a 90-degree. Okay, so this is a line, then perpendicular bisector will break it into two equal parts, and this angle will be 90 degrees. Okay, so I can't erase this part, let it be over here itself, and let us draw perpendicular bisector to one side, which is MN. Okay, now what are we doing? We are going to draw perpendicular bisector on this side MN. So how do we begin? Okay, what can be done? Yeah, one step back. All right, yes. So okay, how do we draw perpendicular bisector to MN? We take more than half distance, okay, and then keep this distance fixed. Using this distance, we are going to draw two arcs, one above the line and one below the line, correct? So we have drawn one arc over here, and the second arc has to be drawn on the opposite side, that is over here. So drawing an arc on this side. Next, we place the steel point on point N, and then cross out these two arcs with the same distance. Okay, I have not changed the distance. With the same distance, we are going to cross out those two arcs. So that gives us the points, and joining these points, we get the perpendicular bisector. So just check, joining these two points, we have got the perpendicular bisector. Okay, it won't allow me to draw arrows, but you should, ideally you should draw the arrows. Okay, so we have got perpendicular bisector. What will be the next step? To draw perpendicular bisector on this line, which is LM. So now we are going to draw perpendicular bisector on LM. So what we will do, we place the steel point on L, take distance more than half, okay, and here I have fixed this distance. So we need to draw an arc on the left hand side and right hand side. So here one arc on this side and another arc on the other side, on this left hand side. So just a minute, students. Yes, on this side. So one arc on this side, and then we place the steel point on point M. Okay, and with the same distance, without disturbing this distance between the legs, we are going to cross out those arcs. So there we have crossed out one arc, and here we are going to cross out the other arc. Okay. And joining these two points, we get the perpendicular bisector. We have to just join these points and extend the line so that it intersects the green perpendicular. Okay, students, this is again a very easy step. First thing, we have drawn the triangle, and now we have drawn the perpendicular bisectors. What is step 3? Step 3 is consider the point of intersection as the center. So point of intersection is the center, and any of the vertices that will give us the radius. So step 4, take any of them as a radius. See this point O, this is the, what should I say, this is the center of this circle. Okay, we have to draw a circle like this, which will have the vertices on its circumference. Okay, this is called as a circumcircle, right? So now we take this compass, and with the help of the compass we are going to draw a circle. So place the steel point at O and take distance. We can consider any of the 3 points, any one of the 3 points, and now just check. We are going to draw a circle. Okay, here I am not getting the third point on the circle, but if you draw it correctly somewhere, if there must be some slight mistake. Okay, so if you try to draw it properly following these steps, you should get the third point also on the circle. Okay, students, must be some small error here. Fine. But if you draw it correctly, what will happen? You should get this point L on the circle itself. That completes this question. Okay. So once again, quickly, I'll repeat the steps. First thing, you need to draw the triangle. Second, you need to draw perpendicular bisectors. Once you draw the perpendicular bisectors, we get the point of intersection will be the center, and using that as the center and any of the vertices, let's say OM, that will be the radius, and we can draw the circle. Okay, I hope this step is very clear. And now let's take up a quick quiz on 10 questions only. So quickly, students, join this quiz. That's the gaming quiz, and this is the code. So you all know you need to go to join. You need to go to Google in joinmyquiz.com. Okay, Google in joinmyquiz.com, and that's the code. Enter your name with your school name, and please join quickly. Okay. That will be a very quick quiz of 10 minutes. So yes. Okay, just a minute, students. You need to join using this code. I'm just changing the code. Just a minute. Here on the board, you should be able to see the code. Okay. Yes. Just check. This is the code, not this one. 128946. That's the code. Quickly join for the quiz, everyone. Yes. And the quiz is a very simple one based on the formulas. This formulas, you need to identify the correct formula. That is the quiz completely on. Identify the correct formula. And the second thing is this trigonometric table. Okay, everyone. So quickly, you need to go to joinmyquiz.com. I see participants joining. Quickly join in. I'll give you only 30 seconds. We are already running out of time. Okay, it will just take 10 minutes. So quickly join the quiz. Okay, I'm going to give you only 30 seconds. So quickly join. The process is you need to type in joinmyquiz.com on any browser. Go to Google, type in joinmyquiz.com and use this code. It will ask for a code. Type in this code, that is 128946. Once you enter the code, it will ask for a name. So enter your name with your school name, and then you will be there on the dashboard. Okay, with that, what are you going to need? So just check here, I am placing both the tables. You need these two tables to get all the answers right. Only these two things. First thing is the surface area and volume formulas, and second thing, the trigonometric values. Okay, so let's begin with the quiz. I'm going to hit start, and I see 29 participants have joined. Okay, and there you go, everyone. Others who have, those who have not joined, just check through the formulas. Okay, the formulas again I'm displaying it on the screen. Please don't be in a hurry. Don't begin random answers. Please don't do guesswork. Look at the screen. Just look at the Zoom screen. You have the formulas on here. You can refer to the formulas and try to get maximum right answer. Okay. So Abhishek, Sakshi Tiwari, Pooja Singh, Pragati, very good. See, you all are in a hurry. Please don't be in a hurry. Don't give random guesswork. Just look at the table. You need the correct values, the correct formulas. So Anis, Sanu, Samruddhi, Pooja, Sakshi Tiwari, very good. You are doing great. Shreya from Goregaon Transit School, Samruddhi Acharya, very good. You are doing great. Nishchay Bharat Gupta, very good. You are also doing great. See, go slow, students. Refer the formulas on the board. There are the formulas on the board. So just the formulas from surface area to volume and the trigonometric table. Pragati, please go slow. Look at the table. Please don't do random guesswork. This is a very simple and easy quiz. Just need the two tables, surface area and volume with the trigonometric table. Okay, Sanu, you are doing great. Sanu, but just remember the formulas. Look at the table and then try to answer. Nishchay, so far you are doing very good. Shreya from Goregaon Transit, very good. Keep going. Anis, fantastic. Good job. Sakshi Tiwari, well done. Be very careful with the rest remaining questions. Don't try to get remaining ones wrong. Okay, it's not about speed, it's about the accuracy. Please try to give maximum right answers and don't be in a hurry, okay? Akrish Chaurasia, very good, you are doing great. Sakshi Tiwari, be very careful, you're getting wrong answers. Shreya, you're doing great. See, the formula, the table is still on the screen, is still there on the screen for you. You can switch to Zoom screen and look at the formulas once. Okay, Sunny, great. Sakshi Tiwari, well done. And Nishchay, you are doing great. Anis, be very careful. Questions are going wrong. Pushpa from Gaushara, fantastic. Krishna Rasya, doing great. Well done, students. You all are doing great. But be careful. Don't be in a hurry. Don't do random guesswork. Okay. Look at the table. The table is there for you on the Zoom screen. Okay, you can refer the table. It is there on the Zoom screen. Nishchay, you are doing great. Try to get the remaining ones right. great. Try to get the remaining answers right and from the top five. Sakshi Maurya, please try to get the remaining answers right. Another 1 minute and we will stop. Anis, you did well from KW School. Very good. Anshita Kamble from Varshanagar. Fantastic. She has got 9 right. Okay, well done. And you are among the top 10. Pooja Singh, remaining 3 questions. Try to get them right. Swatatra, please try to get the remaining one right. Okay, and another 30 seconds and we will stop. Another 30 seconds and we will stop. Let's look at the leaderboard. One can take a look at it. Ganesh Gupta from Nagar, fantastic. More than 50% score, that's good. The top 10 people, Anvita, Sakshi, Sakshi Tiwari, Sakshi Maurya, Sanu, Swatatra, Anis, Ganesh, Nishchay, Pushpa from Gauchara, Nishchay, Shailesh, and Sujay Mishra from Varshanagar. Okay, well done, students, well done. Also, Rajkumar has done great. Pooja Singh from LKW School, she has also done good. Okay, more than 50% scoring students are needed. Krish Chaurasia, well done, students. Jyoti, Samruddhi, Shreya, well done. Alina Ansari, well done. Okay, these are the students who have scored more than 50%. Okay, with that I'm going to end the quiz. Let's see. Let's look at the top 10 scorers once again. So here and the yes. And let's look at the score. Sakshi Tiwari from Sakshi Maurya second, and first is Anvita Kamble from Varshanagar. Fantastic students, and I hope you had nice time. These are the remaining 10 top 10 scorers. You can check your name. Yeah. And hope you had nice time and you have understood that these formulas are really important. They are really, really important. Make sure that you practice them, okay? And that's all for today. Thank you everyone for joining. See you in the next class with Maths 2 question paper 3A solving. Thank you for joining. This is Nancy speaking. Okay, so students take a break, take a small break, and you can continue with the next class then.